Single dad noticed she never smiled. He made it his mission to change that. Michael Rivera never considered himself a hero, just a tired single dad doing his best to raise his little girl, Lily. But sometimes, heroes are born in the smallest of moments, in the quiet spaces where no one is watching. It was on a rainy Tuesday morning, while dropping Lily off at her elementary school, that Michael first noticed her. She was young, maybe 23, 24, with chestnut hair that fell into her face as she rushed children across the crosswalk. She wore the bright orange vest of a crossing guard, but there was nothing bright about her. Her eyes were hollow, her lips pressed into a line so tight it looked painful. She never smiled. Not once. "Daddy," Lily whispered from the back seat as they waited for the guard to wave them through. "Why is she always sad?" Michael didn't have an answer. But something about the way his daughter asked stayed with him long after he drove away. A father's burden, a stranger's shadow. Life for Michael was already heavy. His wife had passed away 3 years earlier from cancer, leaving him to juggle 2 jobs, sleepless nights, and the endless worry of whether he was enough for Lily. Some days he barely felt like he could carry his own grief, let alone anyone else's. And yet, something about the young woman at that crosswalk wouldn't leave his mind. Each morning, she stood there in the rain, in the wind, in the cold, guiding kids safely across the street. She never looked up. Never exchanged laughter with the children. Never seemed to notice the life around her. "She's like a ghost," he thought one morning as he handed Lily her lunchbox. But then Lily said softly, "Maybe she forgot how to smile, Daddy." Michael's chest tightened. Kids had a way of seeing the truth without dressing it up. The mission begins. The next day, Michael rolled down his window as they pulled up to the crosswalk. "Good morning," he said with a polite smile. The young woman looked at him briefly, nodded, and returned to her duty without a word. Not discouraged, Michael tried again the next morning. "Stay warm out here. Cold one today, huh?" Another nod. No smile. By Friday, Lily decided to join her dad's mission. As the woman helped her cross, Lily paused in the middle of the street, pulled a small paper flower from her backpack, and held it out. "This is for you," Lily said. "So you don't forget pretty things exist." For a flicker of a second, Michael saw it. Her lips trembled, almost forming a smile. Almost. But then she tucked the flower in her vest pocket and looked away. Michael wasn't sure why, but it felt like progress. An unexpected truth. Weeks passed, and Michael and Lily kept trying. They greeted her every morning, sometimes with little jokes, sometimes with Lily's drawings. She accepted them quietly, never offering much back. One morning, when the air was sharp with the first bite of winter, Michael parked his truck nearby after drop-off. He waited until the school rush had calmed, then approached her. "Hey," he began carefully. "I don't mean to bother you, but I just wanted to thank you. You keep our kids safe every day. That matters." For the first time, she looked at him directly. Her eyes were green but clouded, heavy with something he couldn't name. "You don't have to thank me," she said flatly. "It's just a job." Michael tilted his head. "Doesn't mean it's not important." Her lips pressed tighter. Then, almost as if the words were dragged from her against her will, she whispered, "I used to be a nurse. Now I do this." The bitterness in her tone startled him. She turned away before he could ask more. The story behind the silence. Days later, as if fate knew Michael needed answers, a teacher at Lily's school mentioned the crossing guard. "Her name's Emma," the teacher said softly. "She lost her fiancé in a car accident last year. She was in the car with him. Walked away without a scratch, but she hasn't been the same since. Left nursing. Barely speaks to anyone." Michael felt the weight of those words sink into him. Suddenly, her silence, her lack of smiles, it wasn't rudeness. It was grief. The kind that hollowed you out from the inside. He knew that feeling all too well. A father's heart. That evening, as Michael tucked Lily into bed, she asked, "Daddy, why is she sad?" Michael hesitated, then answered, "Because she lost someone she loved very much." Sometimes, when we lose people, it feels impossible to smile again. Lily's small hand touched his face. "Like when we lost Mommy?" Michael's throat tightened. "Yes, sweetheart. Exactly like that." Lily thought for a moment. "Then we have to help her. Because you helped me." Tears stung his eyes. Out of the mouths of children came the purest truths. Small acts of kindness. So they tried harder. Not with big gestures, but with small, gentle ones. Michael brought her a thermos of hot coffee on the coldest mornings. Lily gave her hand-drawn cards with sunshine and rainbows. Sometimes Emma would mutter a quiet, "Thank you." Other times, she just pocketed the gifts without comment. But Michael could see tiny cracks forming in the wall around her. Her eyes softened, even if her lips never curved upward. One day, Michael dared to say, "You know, you don't have to smile for us. But just know, if you ever feel like it again, the world would be lucky to see it." Her eyes filled instantly. She turned away quickly, but Michael knew she'd heard him. The breakthrough. It happened on a morning that began like any other. Lily was running late, her backpack half-zipped, her hair a wild mess. They rushed to the car, both laughing at their own chaos. When Emma stopped them at the crosswalk, Lily suddenly tripped and spilled her books everywhere. Michael bent down, scrambling to help her. Before he could, Emma knelt too. She gathered the books gently, brushed the dirt from one, and handed it to Lily. And then, it happened. She smiled. It was small, hesitant, like a rusty door creaking open after years of silence. But it was real. A smile. Michael froze, staring in awe. Lily's face lit up. "You smiled." Lily shouted joyfully. "I knew you could." Emma's cheeks flushed, and for the first time, her eyes weren't clouded, they sparkled with the faintest trace of light. Healing together. From that day on, something shifted. Emma began to greet them in the mornings with a nod that almost resembled warmth. Sometimes, Michael caught her watching Lily skip away, a softness in her gaze that hadn't been there before. Eventually, Emma accepted their invitation to join them for coffee after school. Slowly, she began to open up, about her fiancé, about the accident, about the crushing guilt of surviving when he hadn't. Michael listened, not with answers, but with understanding. He told her about his wife, about the nights he cried when Lily couldn't see, about the way grief had stolen his own smile once. And in that shared space of brokenness, they found something unexpected, healing. The emotional climax. Months later, at the school's spring fair, Michael stood watching Lily perform in a little choir of second graders. The children sang off-key but with unfiltered joy. Parents clapped and cheered. Michael glanced beside him. Emma stood there, clutching the paper flower Lily had once given her. As the kids sang their final song, Lily looked straight at Emma and grinned. Without warning, tears filled Emma's eyes, followed by a radiant, unguarded smile that lit up her entire face. Michael saw it, and his heart swelled. She wasn't just smiling. She was living again. The uplifting ending. That night, as Michael walked Emma to her car, she whispered, "I didn't think I'd ever smile again. But you and Lily, you reminded me what it feels like to be human again." "Thank you." Michael shook his head gently. "Don't thank us. Just keep smiling. The world needs it." For the first time, she laughed softly, a sound like the breaking of dawn after the darkest night. And in that moment, Michael realized something profound. Sometimes, our greatest mission in life isn't fixing ourselves, but helping someone else remember they're worth saving. Final message. Grief had once stolen Michael's smile, and nearly stolen Emma's forever. But kindness, persistence, and the innocent hope of a child had brought it back. It was proof that even in the hardest seasons, the smallest acts of compassion can become lifelines. That no one is too broken to be healed. And that sometimes, all it takes is one person noticing your silence, and refusing to let you stay there alone. Because love, in its simplest form, is just that, choosing to bring light into someone else's darkness. And for Michael, Lily, and Emma, it started with a single smile.